Here in Artzenu Akdosha, in the Holy Land of Eretz Yisrael, we're celebrating the year of Shmittah. It's a celebration, and it's also an expression of tremendous sacrifice of the farmers here in Israel to lay their fields fallow. But how is it relevant to the average person? Average person in Eretz Yisrael, and certainly those in the diaspora in Chutz La'aretz. In the next couple of minutes, let's see if there's a practical, very, very practical lesson that we could take away from the mitzvah of Shmittah. Now, there's a very interesting halacha that the Gemara tells us in Brachos on Daf Mem Amud Aleph. The Gemara says that when it comes to food, a person is not supposed to eat prior to his animals. A person has to feed his animals first, and this is brought down in Shulchan Aruch. We say it in the second passage of Kriya Shema. First, our animals eat, and then we're supposed to eat. We're supposed to remember, says the Yitav Lev, that our eating is not that much better than the animals eating. And we are supposed to remind ourselves to have compassion for animals, but also on a deeper Hasidic level to remember that our eating itself is not that different from an animal, and therefore we give the animal first. Yet at the same time, the Yitav Lev points out that when it comes to Shemitah, there the Torah has a different order. In Parshas Bahar, the Torah tells us that the eating of during the year of Shemitah is first, the farmer can eat first. And then only afterwards does he have to feed his animal. The Yitav Lev makes a very, very powerful argument. An individual who has internalized, really, really internalized what the gift of food is, and what the gift of God's plenty is, their eating is a elevated eating. And then their eating can precede an animal. A farmer who truly has let his field lay fallow and has made his entire field ownerless to everyone is an individual who recognizes, and when he makes a blessing, when he says Sha'akol Niya B'dvaro, or he says Borei Pri Adama, when he makes those blessings, he truly internalizes what the blessing of food is and what its role is. In contrast to the individual who's been focused and entirely consumed with getting more and more and more, then his achila is often no better than achilas behema. The lesson of Shmittah, the practical lesson for us, is to ask ourselves, how do we internalize the blessing of food that we have? How do we eat? Do we eat in a mindful way, in a thoughtful way? Or ultimately, is it one in which our eating, as the Yitav Lev warns us, could be no better than that eating of an animal? Shmittah allows us and encourages us to raise ourselves up and to take our achila and to make it more sublime, heavenly, and more transcendental. Kedusha Shmittah, the sanctity of the seventh year.